Hi, I'm Stephanie. My first job was actually at JCPenney's when I was 16, selling shoes, ironically enough, and here I am at Zappos.
Hey, this is JD. My first job was a fast food worker, assembly line. Didn't last very long, unfortunately. A lot of my hamburgers kept coming back with no meat in them.
My first job was working at Denny's restaurant. I was a hostess. I worked by the airport, the Detroit airport. I worked there and they had a bar there, so we used to get some interesting seedy characters that came in at night.
My first job ever was an ice cream maker at Cold Stone Creamery. Oh yeah, but my weirdest job was I was a personal assistant to exotic dancers.
My first job was actually mucking concrete. Our job was to pull the concrete once it was being poured out of the mixer, spread it out onto big slabs so that the people could come over and smooth it. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I was like 15 years old maybe.
My first job was working at Hollywood Video, and actually I was paying them to work there because the location where I worked was so far away from where I lived that by the time I got there, it took like 3 buses and I had to pay for lunch and everything. I actually was out money instead of making money there.
My first job was actually my worst job. I was a paper boy for a New York paper obviously New York. I had to ride my bike and give or take 2 inches to 2 feet of snow every morning, and it sucked. It was horrible.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and my first job was when I was 15. We had a lot of German families come to the military base where my dad was stationed at, and I was learning German, so I used to babysit for 2 German families.
My first job, I was 16. I was a custodian at a law office. I cleaned desks, I emptied trash cans, I took out the trash, I swept. Pretty much the worst job I've ever had.
My worst job was delivering and making antifreeze. We actually recycled antifreeze from old antifreeze, filtered it through a number of processes, and re-delivered it out to companies. I'm happy I work for Zappos now, but that was definitely my worst job.